good, don't it? Everybody, come on, throw your hands up. We got the feel good music, that vibe to make you wanna lose it. Everybody stops what you doing and rock to the music, bounce to the music. For my people all across the globe, we got that feel good music that'll heal your soul. No matter what, put you from a high old. Only one rule, leave those guns at home. Feel good, don't it? Let's celebrate life. Get your hands high. Hit the dance floor with honey, get light. Get to know her, get a number, get right. Get some drinks at the bar, get nice. Feel good, don't it? You don't have to be a rap or ball player to ball player. Get your ones up so you can ball later. Whether you Big Pimpin' or OJ Simpson, no matter who you are, just get it when you fit in. Some people gonna hate you cause you chillin'. So what? Don't mean you have to change how you living. Know what? We got the feel good music,
that vibe to make you wanna lose it. Everybody stops what you doing, rock to the music, to the music. What's going on, everybody? I know what it is. It's your man in the building. The good music. Woo! Nice. What's going on, everybody? It's your man Vince passing the music. And yes, I do not own the rights to this music, but shout out to my peoples that do. Picasso Pinoy, my man Casper Holstein, the BIGTODD. What's going on, everybody? It's your man Vince Pass in the building for the podcast. One voice, one mic. 10 o'clock is all's well. I'm quite sure everybody right now is sitting in the crib watching the football game. Okay? Yeah, we got LA playing Arizona right now. Yo, listen, man. If you're a football fan, I'm sorry for my Giants and my Jets. We keep getting our head beat in. Shout out to everyone out there who got a team that's doing their thing. You feel what I mean? You know how to wear the snapback to fit it today. You feel me? Representing the Cardinals. You dig what I mean? Louisville. I love them. Basketball season is here. College season is here. We here. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in tonight. Yo, click, tag, and share. You can find us on YouTube. You feel what I mean? You go to Vince Pass 1. So you go to www.youtube.com, Vince Pass 1. Then you can go to Twitch TV, www.twitch.tv/Vince Pass. You know, you can catch me on my live. We had an exciting show tonight, you know what I mean? Yo, listen, diamonds in the rough out here, you feel what I mean? So you definitely got to give people their flowers when they come on in, you know? Shout out to everyone that tuned in. My girl, what's going on? What's going on, Verna? Pink Melissa Bush in the building. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. You know what I mean? I'm your host, your man, Vince Pass, in the building. This is what we doing out here. Shout out to everyone that's out there that's doing what they doing as far as being an entrepreneur. Whatever you got going on, you know, whether you're doing T-shirts, whether you are painting M's or M&M's, moving coffee mugs, whatever. This is the time right now. You know, this is the time for you to start your business and keep pushing your business. Not everybody's going to believe in your dream. So just because everyone don't believe in your dream don't mean that you stop doing it. You know what I mean? Like, people probably didn't believe that I was going to, you know, keep doing podcasts as long as I've been doing it. You know what I mean? So, you know, just keep doing your thing. You know, shout out to all my people who's living in Cincinnati. Shout out to my people in the DMV. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to everyone who on IG right now. Shout out to all of you. Yeah, come on over, man. You definitely come on over. Check me out. You know, I'm on my Facebook Live. Like I said, click, tag, and share. That's what I'm talking about for sure. Go off for your dreams. So tonight, you know, I'm just waiting for my guest to come on right now. My guy, my dude. I hope he click the link that I gave him. I definitely sent it to him. And you know, you'll see in the title, my man, he says, "What's going on with Chancellor Jackson?" I know y'all said, like, who the hell Chancellor Jackson? Chancellor Jackson is a young, bright mind, author. Man, listen, the list goes on and on about this young brother. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of Atlanta. It's out of GA, out of GA. You feel what I'm saying? You're not about to put the ATL in there. You feel what I mean? But yeah, man. So I want to give a shout out to everyone. Yo, listen, y'all already know. You know anybody that feel like they're gonna commit suicide, or you feel like you're at the end of your rope? Yo, please make sure you dial a hotline number. You know what I mean? The suicide hotline prevention number. Get at them. Talk to some experts. Like, yo, just pick up the phone and call somebody today. You know, during COVID time, post-COVID, however you want to put it. But just period. Let's take all the COVID out. Let's just, people need people. Brothers need brothers. Sisters need sisters. Do a check-in. You know what I mean? And just make sure that you You talk to somebody, you know what I mean? Let somebody know that you love them today. Do something that you haven't done before and let somebody know you love them. Or do something that you haven't done in a while and let somebody know you love them. But listen, man, yo, without further ado, I'm about to bring in my man. You know, he just clicked in, you feel me? While he in there getting his nutrients in right now, ready to get it popping. You know what I mean? You heard, got his good water. Get your good water in, you feel me? Make sure you get your 8 ounces, you know what I'm saying, every hour on the hour, you dig? Fill up that stomach so you don't be eating a whole bunch of nonsense like me. Okay, but we'll talk about that later. You know, I digress right now. I digress. You dig? Yo, it's my man in the building, Chancellor K. Jackson in the building. What's going on, man?
Hey man, blessings and balance to you, Vince. Blessings and balance to everyone that's tuning in right now. I appreciate you for having me on, family.
Definitely, definitely. You know, a lot of times, man, you know, I get caught on this Monday night thing, and I always forget that, you know, I need to move my show sometime, bro. And then, you know, I used to go hard on IG as well, and I'm starting to move away from there because you know it's a cool platform to be on, but you know I rather have people come on back and be able to look at the show and be able to sit and have a good experience on the show instead of watching it and you seeing your reception going in and out. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
You know, right now, you know, this is where we at, man. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in to One Voice, One Mic. My man Chancellor Jackson in the building. Chancellor, listen, it's crazy how you reached out to me, man. You know, we on the same pod match together. And you know, when I was reading your bio and stuff like that, I said, man, that's rather short. And I'm like, okay then. So I know what this is. So then I started doing my little homework, went to your editor's page, went to your website page, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I was saying to myself, like, oh, okay, now I see why he does what he does. You feel what I'm saying? Social media guy. Okay.
Hey, game recognized game. Game recognized game.
Bachelor's of Science, you feel what I'm saying, in communications and media studies. You
Yeah,
know, right here, if you look onto the lower left of the screen, it's his website, www.chancellor kjackson.com. On there, you'll find the story of him. You know, it'll be short and brief, but the page itself is very attractive. I love the page. I love everything about the page. It's awesome. It's dope.
appreciate
And
it,
then,
man.
you know, become part of his community. You know, see what he got going on next. Check him out on Facebook.com, and we'll drop the rest of his IGs and stuff later on. So, yo, what's going on, Chancellor? Talk to me.
Hey man, like my boy Barry would say, man, just living my best life, man. Every day above ground is a great day. You feel me? We all experience worse, and this isn't that. So there's something to be grateful for, and to
1995, bro. Let me tell you something. For all my people that's on here right now, 95, man. You know, you was born in the middle of the crack era. Atlanta was banging back then. You know, the turnpike was off the chain. You know what I
oh,
mean?
man.
But
Oh, man.
you was born to in Smyrna,
Yep,
and I remember we had spoke briefly, and I noticed that you said that you were born of Native American heritage.
yeah,
And both of your parents.
yeah.
What was that like being born with two instead of just one, or just
I
saying
mean,
like you know how like yo, I'm 116 Cherokee, cuz you know what I'm saying? I
definitely,
got a scholarship.
definitely, definitely.
What was it like growing up with two Native American? I don't like saying that word Native American. I really don't like it. The indigenous people in your home.
World, world. Um, well, it's just crazy. Pretty much, Papa was a Rolling Stone, but still a lot of respect and shout out to Pop because I gained a lot from him. The way that I am and the way that I think is truly because of him. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Pop. But my mama raised me,
Mm,
essentially. She's Cherokee. Her folks, you know what I'm saying, Cherokee. So from Tennessee. So very southern home, you know what I'm saying, old school Covington, Tennessee, a small town in Tennessee at that. So it's like very grounded people, down to earth, truly. But my mom was very ambitious. She wanted more than what she came from, and she made her way to Atlanta, and you know what I'm saying. Here she laid a foundation that is, you know what I'm saying, that is so solid that I can only continue to build off of it, and you know what I'm saying, my brother as well, and then our kids and so on and so on. So shout out to her for sure,
Shout out to
and
mom.
on me, God, and pops definitely conscious, free thinker. Definitely question everything that we most people go along with in life. So and just with him being like that and so stern on it, and not only just believing in, but having knowledge and
Right.
being able to elaborate and explain to you why. You know what I'm saying? Most importantly, it's like definitely just him watching him do it to other people, even though he wasn't even doing it to me. I'm just watching him doing it to other people. Just like that seed was planted early on, and then it fully sprouted as I became a young man myself. So, and it just continued to enhance, and here we are today. So, and I'm very in tune with my, you know what I'm saying, where I come from and who my ancestors are. I can sit here and list you off the ones that came before me and who they were to me.
Right.
Um, so it's just like just a great understanding of who I am and where my people come from. What's our ethics? What's our go about? What's our characteristics? Why the characteristics are set in place because of the specific places within this nation that my parents derived from. Mama from small town in Tennessee, daddy from South Central LA. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you feel me? So it's like
Mediums out here.
man, but they both met in Atlanta and just you know what I'm saying, here I am. So I got a definitely a southern dude without a doubt, but it definitely got an LA aura to me and just go about in ethics and code
Right.
naturally for
Naturally.
sure.
Got you.
For sure.
For sure. So, bachelor's in communications, media studies, you know what I'm saying? You know, interviewing, this is all easy for you. So this is why this conversation, it's
Yeah,
going to feel like an interview. This is going to be feeling like a regular conversation. You feel me?
no, for
You can
real.
jump in at any time. You dig what I mean? So what school did you go to, man? Where did you graduate from?
Stetson University. I got it up.
Stetson in the building. Okay,
Stetson
then.
University. Go Hatters. Go Hatters. Yes, sir. Small school down in Florida, Central Florida, DeLand specifically. Very, very small city. Very small school as well. Predominantly white institution, private. Probably roughly 4,000, 5,000 people total, students total. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
very small school. Football program is still young. Probably it's definitely over a decade now at this point. So it's still very fresh. So I was definitely a part of the foundation to build the program and just, you know what I'm saying, being a part of what will come in the future. Everything is step by step, brick by brick. So it's definitely, I'm grateful for the experience and you know what I'm saying, I wear Stetson with pride, without a doubt. I'm excited to see where Stetson is in the next 10 to 15 years, without a doubt.
So, because you said that, now that brings me to this question. So, I know Stetson is a young university, probably the youngest in the country. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
well, let me not mean to cut you off. The football program is young,
yeah, the football program is. I mean,
but the university, no, the university is very prestigious. Aside from football,
right.
yeah, they have other sports they excel in, but it's really academic school. It's very
Well, I know that they
prestigious.
had a baseball program. I know they
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know
they fire baseball.
they off the chain in baseball.
Yeah, yeah, it's a couple folks in the league from the baseball team
Right,
for sure. But it really is it's an academic school first and
right.
foremost. Very prestigious school, like Harvard. The nickname is the Harvard of the South.
Mm,
Yeah, so it's a very prestigious school without a doubt. And it is so small. You versus Harvard, where you're gonna be in a classroom with hundreds of people, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
right, right,
You in
right.
the classroom, maybe man, it might be 10 of y'all. It
Mm,
might be 10 of y'all in one class. So it's like you have that true one-on-one connection with the professor to really, you know what I'm saying,
mm,
interpret the information that you need in the best way that you can benefit. You know what I'm saying, or just see
right.
fit. And so that's where the difference comes. And yeah, Stetson is a very great school. I definitely pride myself in going, and
right?
you know what I'm saying, definitely graduating without a doubt.
One of the top, one of the top four universities in the South.
I mean,
I'm reading the stats right now. You feel me? The second best colleges for veterans when they come back from doing their world tour. Number eight college in the country for best undergraduate teaching degrees.
yeah,
Number 15th in
I'm
the
teaching
nation.
myself.
Like, so these are national rankings. You feel what I'm saying? Number 15th in the nation is the best value school. Number 16th in the nation, best innovative school.
Yep.
And the top is 41st in top performance in social mobility. So for all you people that's probably wondering what the social mobility means, it's definitely community based. So whoever becomes a part of that alumni, boy, you if you living in the state of Georgia, yeah, you want to guarantee to get a job somewhere.
Yeah, we had it out. Yeah, yeah. I went to like a luncheon. They had a just like a reunion, just all alumni in Atlanta for football. The head coach was doing it to raise money.
Right.
But yes, of course, I done graduated already, so I got the invitation. I slid. It was so I was surprised. I'm like, there's a lot of people that graduated from Stetson, and I'm the youngest person in this room,
Mm.
youngest, and I'm the only man of color. On top of it, you know
Ooh.
what I'm saying? For the most part, you know what I'm saying, that's an alumni.
Right.
I'm the only one. So it's just like, and then the head coach, he definitely, you know what I'm saying, I played for him. So he definitely praised me. And I just came back from China. Oh, yeah, I networked so much. It was crazy. I met some different people. And I could have worked my one for sure. But it was all corporate based, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Definitely, I
Right.
took the game that I needed to take for sure.
Right.
It was good, but yeah,
You got it
yeah,
though. You feel me? You just went
connections.
there
Yeah,
and did what you needed to
connections.
do.
Facts.
So let's talk about China for a minute. What was going on in China, B?
So I landed my first job after I graduated from Stetson in China. So that's how I ended up over there,
Okay, what was you doing there?
teaching English to children.
Got you.
Yeah,
So exchange program.
yeah. So I'm teaching kids as young as 3 years old all the way up to 14, and pretty much just like as English as a second language. Not like
Was that through Disney?
no. I was this company called English First EF.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still a very big company, national for sure,
Right.
but yeah, that's who I was with. It was a vibe, especially just the specific school that I was at. Great
Hmm.
staff. We had a great supervisor and knew how to. She worked her way up from the bottom, so she truly knew how to run it inside and out. So like, it was very smooth selling for me as far as just teaching, especially coming from a student athlete perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just
Right.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I gotta teach the class on. I was like, oh, that's a whole I gotta unlearn and relearn my whole what. So but they definitely eased me into it. So it was very smooth, and I'm teaching kids, so for the most part all we doing is playing games, so you can match their energy. Oh
Right.
yeah, we lit, we having a blast in class. You know what I'm saying? And, and I'm putting them on all different types of music. I'm putting them on Bob Marley, Luther Vandross. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what's going on. Travis Porter.
Right.
They don't know what's going on, but it's
You
like
introduce them to that smooth culture.
on me. You feel me? So you know what I'm saying? Just a little, give y'all a little taste.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't hit them with no bone crusher, did you?
No, Lord, no. Oh, Lord, oh Lord, no.
You would go like, we ain't never scared. Yeah, you would have gave them that energy. You'd have been all over them, but like, Mr. Jackson, you gotta come on in.
Yeah, we're gonna need you to leave, sir. Oh me. Oh me. Oh
That
me.
dude right there will not stay in the culture. But
Nah, yeah.
let's talk about 14 days in Beijing. Now look, when I seen the cover, then I started seeing. Now I went on Amazon. Okay, so everybody know that his book, he's the number one selling author on Amazon right now, currently, correct?
I think I'm number 5 on.
Amazon right now.
Yeah, but I'm up there, man.
Yeah, you in the
Versus
top 10. You feel me?
it's
And and
me.
and, and yo, the what? Yo, 14 days in Beijing, and I'm reading like what it's about. Like your luck done ran out. Oh my God. Okay, he got a hustler spirit. So let's go. So let's talk about 14 days in Beijing, man.
Okay. So yeah. So all in all, I was in China for 6 months total.
Hmm.
China was absolutely amazing. Best experience I ever had in my life. Would do it all over again. Like truly, truly amazing. I encourage everybody to travel for sure. But if you could live abroad, someplace just for a little bit, just for a little bit, I highly encourage it. I truly do. Just you know what I'm saying. You can feel my energy behind what I'm saying. Like China was amazing. So with that being said, we fast forward. You know what I'm saying? It's April 4th, 2019. It's a day off for me. I'm just cooling. Gonna go about the usual typical morning schedule on my day off. I have an event I want to attend in the afternoon, just to
Hmm.
hang out with some friends and colleagues at. So before I slide to the event, I'm like, hey, I'm a pregame. so,
Right,
so
right, right,
you feel me? So I'm sipping
right,
some sipping some Chinese liquor, and smoking some cannabis at my little silver pipe.
right,
Crossway settles in. I'm good. You know what I mean?
right.
So I'm getting dressed. Woo woo woo. Here knocking at the door. Guests aren't unfamiliar. So I'm curious to see who it is. Look through the peephole. It's 3 officers from the Beijing police. And it's like in that instant, my heart just sunk into my stomach. I'm just like, ooh. I'm
Right.
spooked now. Like, oh shit, what they doing here? So I'm like, all right, put everything up. Woo woo woo. Open the door. They walk in. Question me about drugs. Of course, I'm from Atlanta. This is the city of finesse. You live by the finesse. You die by the
Facts.
So I'm sitting here finesse. You know what I'm saying? Just playing the fool. I don't know what y'all talking about. You tripping? Look at my passport. You know, you might need some passport. You got me confused with somebody else. Just trying to divert the situation. So go grab my documentation. Everything. I grab everything. Bring them to the living room. Let them look over it. And one of them looking over. The other two, they just walking around casually. Time progresses. They tell me to sit down. I sit down at my dining room table, and I'm just, you know what I'm saying, just in my head, just reflecting at this point, because I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just trying to stay on my toes. I'm high still, so it's like I'm paranoid like a mother. I hear footsteps coming from down the hall, mind you, because they never closed the front door. Another officer enters the apartment. He has something in his hand. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really paying him no mind. He hands the item to the officer that was originally questioning me about the drugs, and that officer communicates to me to pee into the cup. So it's a drug test right there on the spot.
Wow.
And right then and there, I was like, oh yeah, this shit is over with. I was like, it's over with, bro. Oh man, it's over with. So, of course, do the drug test, failed it, and now by this time, now it's like 7, 8 officers in the apartment. They looking all over the place. One of them is interrogating me about the paraphernalia. Just about failing drug tests and asking if I have any more, and you know what I'm saying, who I get it from, and you know what I'm saying, just want to see if I can give him any valuable information as far as the
They
source.
wanted you to be the ops.
So of course, now I'm high out of my mind. I'm still like I'm super faded.
Right.
It's the fog of war. I got blitzed. Like I done snapped the ball. They done sent engage. They done sent all 8 people. Like they done sent 8 people. I don't have nobody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody blocking. Nobody picking it up. I was like,
Right,
oh,
right, right.
I'm under the pressure. So I'm just still trying to finesse. Whatever first thing come to my head, I'm spitting out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm catching myself lying. I know he catching me lying, but I'm like, hey, I'm gonna continue to necessarily I can't no more. I'm like, bro, I'm so high. This is not the like this is the worst time to be high right now. But hey, it all made the story great. So of course we, you know what I'm saying, once he realized that I wasn't gonna give him any information to work with, he broke it to me like essentially you caught red handed. The charade is up. We know what's going on. You know you got extra more on you. You know what I'm saying? Just it's over with.
Right.
And it was like immediately as soon as he said that, it's like all that fear, all the stress was just like it just vanished. I'm like, for sure, bro, for sure. I'm just sitting here, just the anxiety was just setting in because I'm just hoping you. I'm gambling right now, but Once I realized, like, I live by the finesse, die by the finesse. Okay, I died. It's for sure. I lived the finesse another day. It's all good. Now I got to hold myself accountable.
Right.
This is when accountability sets in. For sure. I consciously knew what I was doing, and I had no business doing it. I consciously knew that, and I still chose to engage in it. So the fact that shit has hit the fan, I'm in this predicament right now, and this is happening, there's nobody to blame but me. So what will come, and I just have to take that to the chin.
Right.
For sure. I'm like, for sure. It is what it is. It's just like a sense of just peace. You know what I'm saying? It was just placed upon me after that. I'm like, for sure. All right, boom. Confiscate everything. Put the cuffs on me. Escort me to the van. Sit me down.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like I said, it was probably like 8, 9 officers in the apartment. They walking across the apartment complex. They going. I don't know where they're going. So I'm just in the van by myself at this point. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. They walking away. And I'm just sitting there just reflecting, like, this is really happening. I don't know what's finna happen. I know I'm gonna be good. Just we just gonna see. Let's see what I'm saying. Just step by step. Because it's like it's out of our control right now. So, so 2 officers get in the van. We drive. We get to a precinct not too far away from my apartment. We're there briefly. I'm just sitting down handcuffs. Majority of the time, just reflecting, still replaying everything, and just, you know what I'm saying, keep my mind positive, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Just hold myself accountable. I told myself as I'm sitting in the first precinct, I said, man, take note of every minor detail.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is going to be a great story when this is all said and done. You know what I'm saying? Once you get out of this predicament, it's going to be a great story to tell for sure. So definitely take note of every minor detail, and most importantly, enjoy this high one last time. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to. We in China. I'm like, we don't know what's going to
Right.
happen.
You don't know what's getting ready to happen.
Real talk, like real talk. I'm just like keeping the butt. Hey, we don't know what's going to happen, bro. Like, you got to, you know what I'm saying? For sure. We don't know, but just enjoy this high one last time and take note of every minor detail, bro. Like, truly. So they come and get me, and we get back in the van. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where we're going. They not explaining nothing to me. One, we can't talk to each other. They don't speak English like that. At least I assume they don't. I don't see Mandarin. At least they assume I don't. I'm not finna sit here and ask them no questions. That's the, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to say to them.
I'm not to do any of that.
So it's like they ain't got nothing to say to me. I got nothing to say to them. So I really don't know what's going on. So we just in the van. And we arrive at another precinct. It's a lot bigger. It's holding cells, and that's where they house me in. One of the holding cells with eight other Chinese men, and I'm there briefly for a second, and they take me down to the basement of the precincts to do the official interrogation. This is where it gets dramatic within the book because they lock me into this chair. It's I describe it as an electric chair in the book because that's what it looks like. This chair literally locks your shins, thighs, waist, chest, arms all into one place.
Wow.
The only part of my body I can move is my head like this here, up and down. So it's like I'm doing my whole interrogation locked in the chair just like this. You know what I'm saying? So, but by that time I had plenty of time to come up with a solid story and finesse them with. So that process was, you know what I'm saying? I'm on my toes the whole time. I'm definitely reflecting like, okay, I definitely come up with something to tell these folks. But, you know what I'm saying? Gave them a good story to finesse them with. That process was smooth. Then we get the my mugshot and my handprint, and they throw me back in the holding cell. And that's where I remain for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? The majority of the rest of the time until they call me from the holding cell. By this time it's nighttime. I don't know what time it is. It was daytime when I was in here. I mean, my high been coming. My high is finally coming down, so I've been fading in and out of consciousness the whole time. So I'm asleep, handcuffed. You know what I'm saying? Finally, when they finally called me, they woke me up. So it was nighttime. That's all I know. I don't even know what time it is. We go back to the lobby. They bring my best of clothes. Tell me, hey, get dressed. I bet. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, everything done worked out. It's smooth. See, look, I was compliant. I was cool. Everything working out cool. I bet. Get dressed. All right. It's like, you know what I'm saying? They had me follow them through a door behind the front desk. So we go through the door, and now we're in the hallway. At the end of the hallway, it's a room. It's crowded with officers. I can't really make out what the room is, but I see the officer walking towards it, so I follow suit. And as I enter it, I can only assume that this is some form of evidence room. Like it's hella evidence bags everywhere on shelves, scattered all over the place. So I'm like, this got to be like it got to be like the official evidence room. That's the only thing I can assume. I don't know what's going on. They're not explaining anything to me. Just based on what I'm observing, that's the only thing I can assume.
Right.
So in front of me is a table. On the right side of the table is 4 small TV monitors where they watch the footage from the officers' body cameras. And it's DVDs, physical copies of DVDs scattered, you know what I'm saying, in front of it. To the left is everything that was confiscated from my apartment, along with a DVD. So I'm like, okay, they clearly done made a digital copy of my arrest and everything that took place at the apartment. So this is where it's an interesting part of the book, because they sit there and they weigh the weed that they confiscated up in front of me. Because I have no clue how much I have. I don't have a scale out there, so I don't know how much I have. They weigh it up in front of me. So it's a very interesting part of the book, just because as a reader, you're curious, how much did he have? Right. You know what I'm saying? Well, so that's an interesting fact. But, and another facet, I never received any information as far as what was going to happen, what was going to take place, or what was going, you know what I'm saying, what was my actual, you know what I'm saying, crime, or what am I getting indicted on? Like, I didn't receive nothing like that. Right. I don't know what's happening. But with them weighing that weed up, the weed up in front of me, that was one of the very first signs the universe and my ancestors sent to me, you know what I'm saying, alerting me in regards to how long I was going to be there.
Wow.
So they weighed the weed up in front of me, right? And it totals out to be 1.4 grams. Now, for those that consume cannabis, you know 1.4 grams ain't nothing. If you don't consume cannabis, we're talking units of measurement. 1.4 grams.
1.4 grams, right?
And is nothing. But
here goes your tray right here.
But look, but let's dive deeper. We just weighed up casually. It's precisely 1.4 grams. I'm looking at it. 1.4. It's a decimal, right? 1.4. You remove that decimal, what number do you get?
Which way, left or right? You got
14. Like 1.4. You remove the decimal, what number do you get?
14.
What's the title of the book?
14 Days in Bejing.
That's one of the very first signs I received from the higher realm in regards to
how long you gonna be sitting down.
Since I didn't receive no information whatsoever the entire time. And that's just one of them.
So let's go deep into that, man. I mean, because for all y'all, don't know. Like this book, this paperback was inspired by a true story by this man going to China, teaching, chilling. You feel what I'm saying? Doing his 1-2 thing, and he won. All of a sudden he got caught up, but he didn't caught up on his own. You didn't get caught up on your own volition, though. You got somebody. If somebody was opping on you, you feel me? Somebody was opping on you.
I'm minding my own business. I ain't bothering nobody, nothing.
I'm in my house doing my thing. You feel what I'm saying?
Me, working my one.
To that for a second, because you said that that was the first time that in the higher realm that you received a sign of how long you was going to be there. What else took place after that? So
they put everything on paper, have me sign. Now, mind you, they have been making me sign documents all day. I haven't been. This all in Mandarin. I don't know what I'm signing, and nor am I asking questions. Them folks saying jump, I'm saying how high. So I'm signing and thumbprinting everything. So they put all that on paper again. I signed it, thumbprint it, and then we get back in the van. So I'm like, okay, cool, bet. I've been compliant. You know what I'm saying? I was cool, cordial. Yeah, I work with y'all. You know what I'm saying? There's no way they're not taking me home at this point. So, for real, I'm like, there's no way they're not taking me home. I mean, I look at it. We get in the car. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I got arrested at like 11, 12 a.m., 12 p.m. I was there cussing. Yeah, so I'm like, but there's no way they're not taking me home. And I've been compliant this whole time. I haven't rebelled. I ain't. But energy just been all just cordial, straight peaceful. So I'm like, bro, there's no way. No way. So we riding. About 30, 40 minutes pass, and we arrive at this facility with tall walls and barbed wire. I'm just like,
fuck. Wait a minute. All of a sudden you ride at the penitentiary?
Man, I'm like, oh man, I'm like, fuck, this is jail.
So
we
you
just get,
a phone call.
we just,
Nobody.
we just get.
Anything.
This is China. It's a communist country. They can do whatever the hell they want.
Sure.
They can do whatever they want. So we go into the facility, go to the nurse's office. They do a physical. Had me change into the uniform, put all my stuff in the storage, take me upstairs. We get to cell 209. CO opens the door. Instantly, my psyche is thrown for a loop at what I see.
Right.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning at this point, mind you. So immediately I see just a huddle of bodies sleeping. Right. Huddle of bodies, and standing adjacent from the bodies are 2 inmates wide awake, standing up watching the rest of the inmates sleep. So as you like, most of y'all probably puzzled, like, what the hell? What does that mean? Literally, exactly. Imagine me just they open up. I'm just like, what is going on here? Right. So the 2 inmates, they Chinese. Everybody's Chinese. The 2 inmates that's up, of course they up. So we make eye contact. The last thing they expected was a person of color. I had locks at that point in time, long. That's the last thing they expected. Come see walking through the door. And the last thing I expect to see is 2 people watching other people sleep. And so it's just like we just have this awkward moment of just eye contact, like, bro. What, bro? What is going on? And I'm looking at, like, it's literally a huddled body. So I walk into the cell and just observe my surroundings. The cell is pretty much a big rectangle. The lengthiest part of the cell is literally in height from the floor to the ceiling. Like, it's high. That's where the length comes into part. As far as everything, it's literally a big ass just rectangle. So not a big space. I'm looking at the literally a big ass just rectangle. Right. So not a big space. I'm looking at it. You're lagging. Is it still going? We good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay. So I'm just observing the cell, and the bunks, literally, you take maybe about 5 steps, the bunks start, which we sleep on. Mm-hmm. There are nothing but wooden planks, big wooden planks. There's 9 of them in total.
Wow.
And I'm sitting here counting now because I'm like, 9 beds. So how many of us in the cell? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 15 of us in the cell, including me. So it's 15 people, 9 beds, 2 people taking watch, so 13 people sleeping on 9 beds. That's why I describe it as a slumber party in the book. Like, it was like when we was kids back in the day, we got to make room. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of space to sleep. That's literally how it looked. But these random grown men, for sure. So to the left is the bathroom. It's its own separate room, but the walls are all made of glass. So everybody in the cell can see inside of it. It's a sink, toilet, of course, but the toilet is a squat toilet, so a hole in the ground that you got to squat over. The shower ain't nothing but a water hose with a shower head tied to it. Black mold.
Hold Yo, funny not funny though. Hold up. I'm done.
On me. Squat toilet, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta squat over. Shower number the water hose with a shower head you gotta tie to it. And there's black mold on the walls. Flies and gnats fly around.
Wow.
So I approached the slumber party, trying to find a spot to lay down. And one of the inmates that's taking watch, he waked two inmates up to make room for me. And they gave me a bowl and a spoon to eat out of. So I put my bowl and my spoon in the cubby underneath the bunk, and I just lie down. My hands on my chest, and I'm just staring at the bright light on the ceiling like this here. And it's just, that's when reality truly set in. Like, bro, I'm in here. Nobody knows I'm in here. I don't know what's going on. They have not explained anything to me. It's not looking too good right about now. Like, it's not looking too good. But I prayed to my ancestors this morning. I gave sacrifice to them. Well, I paid homage to them this morning. Right. Ironically, before all this happened. So I know that I'm gonna be good. I don't know what's gonna happen, how it's gonna play out, but I just gotta trust this process. You know what I'm saying? I can't. You know what I'm saying? I got to hold myself accountable first for sure. So it is what it is. First thing first, people got to realize that you are in here, Chancellor. So in order for that to happen, people got to realize you're missing. Well, how can that come? Well, you didn't show up to the event you were supposed to show up to meet friends and colleagues at. So I'm sure they called you and you didn't answer. But that's weird, but it ain't, you know what I'm saying, nothing serious.
Right.
But when you don't show up for work Saturday morning for your 8 o'clock class, all hell breaking loose for sure. Well, because one, they got to find somebody to cover this class last minute. And then two, one of the colleagues specifically that works with me at my school, I was supposed to meet the day I got locked up at that. So she was like, okay, he didn't show up to the event. We called him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't answered for sure. He ain't show up for work. Something's wrong. Red flag. Something wrong. She already, you know what I'm saying? And she one of my smoking partners, so she already know, like, something wrong. My other thing was, okay, I had a girlfriend at the time that lived back in America. So I'm like, when I don't respond to two of her messages, that's all hell breaking loose. That's another red flag. You know what I'm saying? She gonna be pressing. You know what I'm saying? She gonna reach out to, like, what's going on. So I know I'm gonna have to at least sit through the weekend before people realize that I'm missing, and then from that point on, the search for me will begin. Until then, hey man, just try to get some rest. And literally, I'm saying all this verbatim, like, just try to get some rest and we're gonna take it step by step. And literally, what I just sat here and broke down to y'all, that's all chapter 1. Essentially, that's chapter 1. That's all. You know what I'm saying? It's 13 other chapters. You feel me? So it's like, it gets even crazy. So you know what I'm saying? Break around the rest of the experience. I was locked up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 15 people to one cell, 9 wooden beds. And for those 14 days straight, all I had was that one plastic bowl and that one plastic spoon.
On top of that, you're a black man in a communist country on foreign soil. Could have easily been mistaken as a drug dealer.
On me. Easily.
Easy.
And I assume that I should, like, that's what they was assuming until they seen how much I actually had, and like, okay, nah, he's just, you know what I'm saying? If I had anything more,
you had 2 grand, it was over.
Oh, and look, you know what's crazy? While we just bringing that up, let's fast forward to chapter, I want to say it's chapter 3. So the first 3 days, I'm the only English speaker, only foreigner in the cell. So I'm in the cell with 14 other Chinese men. Communication is non-existent in the first 3 days. So the first few chapters of the book is just me in my head, what you observe through my eyes, and just my reflections on it, and just me reflecting upon myself and reevaluating everything for sure. But I want to say is chapter 3. I'm having a dream, and isn't this one? This one of the other signs. One, yes. So I'm having a dream. It's crazy. I'm with random people I don't even know in China somewhere, somebody's apartment. Some random people I don't even know. We smoking, just vibing, pow. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. We cooling. And one of the people in the group, just ironically, we ironically talking about being arrested in China for weed. Here we are in China smoking, but we talking about getting arrested for this shit. For it.
Right.
So the person says, I hear if you get caught with more than 3 grams, it's automatic month sentence. And after she said it, the whole room got silent. And my senses began to awaken until I fully became conscious and awoke fully. And I just started reflecting on what she said. If you get caught with one, I'm just thrilled because I'm thinking about the fact that how ironic it is that I'm thinking about getting, you know what I'm saying, talking with a group of people about getting arrested for weed in China, and here I am locked up for weed in China, and this girl says if you get caught with more than 3 grams, it's an automatic month sentence. Well, if I got caught with 1.4, which is less than 3 grams, that should equate to about 2 weeks worth of time because it's 4 weeks in a month, so that's about 2 weeks worth of time. So I'm like, is that mean I'm going to do 2 weeks in here? First time 1.4, 14. Right. That means now here I am again at the feet of Mo. I'm not catching none of this. Like I'm taking heed to it for sure.
Right, but
I'm not catching it. I'm like, I just didn't want to believe it. That's really what it was. Because I said, I'm like 2 weeks. I'm like, it's about 2 weeks worth of time. I mean, I'm gonna do 2 weeks. I don't think I can do 2 weeks in here. I'm saying it to myself. I don't even want to believe that. I can't do 2 weeks in here. But I ain't trying to hear that right now for sure. But
you know what it is. I got to lay it down.
On me. And the third dream was just like how my release, you know what I'm saying, would transpire. And it was damn near spot on as well. So it's a very, very spiritual book just because I'm a very spiritual person.
Right.
I'm very in tune with my spirituality and connected with my ancestors and my lineage. So, yes, I was, it threw my psyche truly going through it as well as writing it and then constantly reading it as I'm editing it. It's just like, man, this is powerful. A lot of it is going to go over people's heads. It's not going to be digested just now. But that's the luxury about books. They'll be around forever. Right. Some of the greatest books we know today have been around for a very long time. So I just know I got to wait my turn for sure. And it's going to do what it's going to do when it's the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? Precisely. For sure. And I already done did it for sure, but it's like, man, I'm just scratching the surface with that. That's man.
So shout out, I want to give a shout out to all them people who complain about going to jail. I want to give a shout out to all of you right now. This man spent 14 days in a 15-man cell that had 9 wooden beds. Let's be clear, hold on. 9 wooden beds. 9 wooden slats, okay, that looked like beds.
On me.
A small plastic spoon in a plastic bowl. Locked in 24 hours a day. Only time to let out is to get a shower.
See, you don't even leave the cell for that. The shower's in the cell.
Had a shower.
In the cell.
Had to tie it up to take a proper shower.
And everybody watch you. Especially being the only man of color. Oh, man. All eyes on me.
They like, oh, yeah.
They in there, man. You should have seen, man, me trying to do number 2 in there. Oh, man, they was in there clowning me, man. They was clowning me. I'm telling they was on my head too. I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm back in America with the fellas, like, you know what I'm saying, in the dorm room, like, they on my head, like, damn. And I can't even roast y'all back because we can't even fully communicate. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, for sure.
I can only imagine, you even being in there, right? So I want to take this to another. I want to take this to another place real quick.
World.
The respect that was given.
World, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The respect that was given to you, and you gave to the people in the cell as well. And I'm quite sure, like you had elders in the cell and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess your 14 days, the way that you were moving in there, you feel what I mean? Just listening to you, just listening to you and seeing how you vibing, um, just telling how you pay homage, you know what I mean, to the elders even in the cell. You dig what I'm saying? How you making sure they good, you know what I mean? And they vice versa. You feel what I mean? Even though it was a language barrier, you feel me? You was put where you were supposed to be so you could learn what you needed to learn
No,
for the
facts.
14 days.
Facts. And it was crazy is the first 3 days, yeah, that's what would it was only the first 3 days that was that extreme. I'm the only foreigner, only English speaker.
Mm.
The universe knew that was probably the longest I could probably go without losing my sanity. Most people would have lost their mind long ago, but I was able to last 3 days. You know what I'm saying? So on that fourth day, ironically, man, so I told you it's 15 people in the cell. On the third day, that morning, 12 people get released. So it's only 3 of us left. So I'm like, there's no way they're finna leave us in this whole cell by ourselves. They come get us, move us to a cell down, 2 cells down. So now we're in cell 207. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to get. You know what I'm saying? I just got used to these folks now. I got to get used to some more folks. I'm not trying to do this, but it's, you know what I'm saying, it's outside my control. This is when the shift happens within the story. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking to the cell immediately. First person I see is a foreigner, but this is I'm talking about big white dude. I'm talking about he about 6'3", 6'4", 250. No cap. We're not allowed to lie down during the day. Only time we lie down when they tell us to lie down. He the only one lying down. Scabs all on his face, like he just got to fighting. Me and him, like this is the first person I see when I walk into this new cell. So we,
My face.
but like, and I know I'm like he's not American white, like he's something like I don't know where he from, but he's
something like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the first person I make eye contact with, and I look at him, he look at me, and I just put my I just put my hand down, but I'm like, what? I'm like, man, see, these folks got me. I'm like, see, this was exactly what I was talking about. So I'm just bummed out. I'm like, see, this that BS. So I'm just walking. The cell is still set up the exact same as the previous one. It's a little bit more supplies in this one. You know what I'm saying? They got stools, like graffiti on the walls and stuff. It's a little bit more vibrant, but it's the same setup essentially. Right. I'm just walking, head down, and I hear, "Hey, man."
Last thing I expect to see is
And I look up.
And so it's like we just have
I'm like,
eye contact.
Right.
I'm just thrown. I'm like, did I just? I'm like, I'm just like, I know I just hear English. I'm looking. It's a Chinese American, and you know what I'm saying. He waved me down like so. I'm like, whoa. You know what I'm saying. I go walk over. We talking with the whoop. Gonna find out he's from California.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying. But been living over here. You know what I'm saying. And I meet another dude. He speak English too. He's Brazilian from Brazil.
Mm.
So I'm like, okay, now I'm immersed with English speakers. They both fluent in English and Mandarin. So not only can I communicate with them, I can communicate with the whole cell now. So now this is when things and stories start to we can connect more dots as far as, okay, how this process works, how the jail works, what's the rules, like we can make sense of all that, but still as far as how long is Lucky, that's the character's name, my Lucky. How long will Lucky be here? We don't know. We still don't know that, but we know how this process works as time progresses, and we get to learn about all these different characters and what they're locked up for, their backgrounds, and it's just like, man, it's very interesting, like to see really just the different stories. Like we hear my story, it's like this is crazy, but you read about the others, and it's just like, man, mine is
Nothing compared to what they dealing with. I want to touch on something in your story real quick. Not even in the book. The release piece I find to be is what's important because I know you had to appear in court at some point.
mm-mm.
So did they ever get a chance to explain to you all the papers you were signing? You probably would say, "Yo, I ain't never coming back to China ever again in life."
I I never went through no actual court hearing. I would say probably the biggest, the most closest aspect to that was me. I would say, I would assume was me meeting with the, like, I don't know what, I didn't know what was going on. I assume this is the warden I'm meeting with.
Right.
Like, even like I just got in, like, so I explained, I just like just get some rest. The next morning they called me out into the hall, and then you know what I'm saying, I'm out there in the hall with you know what I'm saying, a few other people, and then we all, I don't know what all this is happening. It is until I meet with the new foreigners. I mean, the other foreigners that I just described. Once I moved to the new set, they explained to me, oh yeah, they collect when they first bring you here. They take you, well, the next morning. They take you down the hall. You meet with the warden, and he goes over your sentence and how long you're gonna be there, what you arrested for. That's what that whole process is. I'm like, that's what that was.
Wow.
But literally, I'm like, bro, I was in line, and they point me, tell me go in there. I just go in there. I just sit down. He don't say nothing to me. He just gave me some papers. I just signed it, thumbprint it, and I'm back out in the hallway. So and that's another thing that's crazy, because like once I get with the other English speakers, every single person knows what they were arrested for specifically and how long they're supposed to serve. I'm the only one that doesn't. Everybody else does. I'm the only one that doesn't. Even the other foreigners, everybody else knows. Everybody else knows. Essentially, they was explaining something. I'm the only one that just like, I just wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't receive any information. I'm here to tell y'all I did 14 days. You know what I mean? So that's what, you know what I'm saying. That's what makes the story so great, because it's so mysterious. You don't know. You don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Every day was something different with this thing. You know what I mean?
We learn that as we go. We learn that because we ain't got no choice.
Right. Yeah, same with slavery. You did, but you know I digress. We learned it as we go.
No, me.
So I do want to ask you this, man. Like I noticed that, like we was talking, we was chatting. You always say world.
World.
Okay. Let's get it. What is that? Like you know, because you know some of us, you know, we use your word. You feel what I'm saying?
World, for sure.
World.
World.
And it took me a minute to kind of catch on. So what do you mean when you say world?
World. It's crazy. You definitely hear me say it in my speech. I didn't say it, you know what I'm saying, every time. But I describe it in the book as well. It's in chapter 4. But it's essentially, I use it in two aspects. Just like how you use word,
Right.
especially I use it in that same aspect for sure. Like it's an understanding, it's mutual agreement amongst us. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, but in the same way, I also can use it in like somebody using amen or
Gotcha.
amen. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not religious. Clearly, I'm very spiritual. So, world, we all come from the world. We come from the dust of the dirt of the earth.
Right.
We all one and the same. So when I say world, it's just like that's another way of me saying that's my version of amen. Me paying homage to the universe for broadening my understanding, enlightening me in the facet where I was once dim. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, go ahead, world. Okay, for sure, world, for sure.
So I equate that throughout the whole time we've been talking. You feel me? Like that's our connection. We on the same plane. You
I
feel me?
mean,
We in that universe together right now. We vibing. You know what I mean?
I
So
mean,
I got you.
Worldly.
All you have to do is look for a different word to use. Use the word instead of saying word, world.
Worldly.
That's it.
World or worldly, it's all the same thing. It's
Right.
interchangeable.
So you wrote now on Amazon. They have your book broke down. Okay,
I did
and the
that.
part and you did that. So
Yeah, I
the
did that.
part that I want to ask you about because I seen part 5, part 7. Then you had Bari's uh
Interlude.
yeah interlude. What's that about?
So I know it's very confusing, and and it's really just a young author fresh into the game, just experimenting, really, because it's like that's what Amazon gave us the freedom to do.
Facts.
That's where that comes into play. Us to have the ability to do whatever we want to do with our work versus the traditional way. They gonna be like, nah, you got to do it this way. On some slaves. Let's move on.
It's slavish. Right.
Let's, well, for sure, you know what I'm saying. So it just Amazon just gave us that power. So initially, I wanted to drop the entire story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I wanted to do it, but the way everything played out, it was just the best strategic way to do it was to do it in segments. So
Right.
I did a 5 book series of the entire. So I just broke the story down into 5 books, short stories. People, most people don't read like that. We gonna keep it a book. So it's like, hey, I'll be more inclined to read this little. You know what I'm saying? This versus you hand them a whole. You know what I'm saying? 200. You know they like, oh man, it's
250 pages. They'll
like
be more inclined to read something in 50
only.
minutes.
You feel me? So it's like let's do it in smaller segments in that aspect. So and that was just the adult version. I turned around. I was like, let me do a youth version of the entire story. Just
Mm.
took a lot of the language out. You know what I'm saying? Strong language out, and just did a youth version because it's like if you gonna sit here and think kids don't know about don't know about none of that, you're being naive. You're
Right.
being a fool. To be honest, we're gonna keep it a buck. You're playing yourself. Man, these kids is come on, these kids,
Smart, man. A lot smarter these
come
days.
on. So it's just like let's educate them versus just letting them experiment on their own and that being 50. They can go 50-50. Why do that? Why? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it for sure. So it's like that's what my whole aspect was youth edition. But I'm like, okay, man, this book's still lengthy for kids. So it's like instead of doing it in 5 segments, I'm like, I'm gonna do each chapter or each every 2 chapters as a single book for the youth edition. So the
Gotcha.
Bard's interlude, literally, that's a chapter within 14 days. But for the youth edition, that's the title. You know what I'm saying? That's that Bard's interlude and whatever chapter 9 is. I can't even remember. My mind's slipping me. Whatever title chapter 9 is. But you know what I'm saying. So that's what that is, and I feel like I need to truly explain that because a lot of people get confused when searching my books up and they buy the wrong one. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I took all of it, you know what I'm saying, all that down, but with the physical copies, there's still versions of those available, so that's why they still are listed until
Okay.
somebody buys
Okay.
them
For
up. You know what
sure.
I'm saying? So they'll always be there. But like I said, books grow through time, so those will all be collector's items because it's only a select few that's gonna be left for real, for
Right.
real. So when it's all said and done, those that can't get their hands on it, hey, shout out to y'all.
Right.
It will pay off in the long run for sure, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Get your, you know what I'm saying, invest. But yeah, that's just sum all that up though for sure. But
So
now I put all those books, the 5 story series into one solid book. It's all one novel now, and the next book to complement the whole novel is the new romance novel that I just dropped.
right. I was about to ask you about that too. Cause you love and you learn. You
Yes,
love
sir.
and you learn. I'll be honest with you. I honestly think that I just knew that we weren't going to wrap up in an hour. I knew that already. I knew that because of the title of the book,
Mm-hmm.
just talking to you briefly, reading a little bit about you, leaving the creators area open. You feel me? And now we at you love and you learn.
Yes, sir.
And I love the cover. The cover is dope.
I
I
appreciate
love
it.
the cover.
I appreciate it.
I love the cover. The cover is dope. It got you on there, got your little braids, got you faded out, you know what I mean? Got you lined up. Shout out to the barber in
Oh
Timberland.
man.
Get the cut.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? It's love out here.
Oh
So
man.
let's talk about you love and learn. You
Yes
learn.
sir. Yes sir. So pretty much it piggybacks off of 14 days, because a lot of feedback that I was getting from mainly women
Right,
was,
right, right
because
now.
like I said, I had a girlfriend at the time, like I mentioned earlier, that still lived in America. So I speak of her fondly, think of her fondly throughout the whole 14 days, but I never have contact with her.
Mm,
She's not merely but nothing, thoughts of mine, and that's all we know. And then once I get out, I mean, I just get out, and that's the end of the story. So it's like a lot of women is like, okay, so you know what I'm saying? They like want to know about the romance aspect. Like you know, say you hinted at it, but you neglected it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
right.
saying? You need to expand on it. So we curious about that. So I'm like, okay, for sure, for sure. And I was getting other bugs on my ear about writing it, and so once I finally got around to writing it, it was just perfect, honestly. Truly, truly perfect to bring everything full circle, because the story is very, very pivotal. Because a lot of people are curious about it, and definitely this first book. You know what I'm saying? What I dropped on recently is the backstory to the romance. You know what I'm saying? What took place pretty much up until prior to you know what I'm saying 14 days, and
Got you. So, like you said, the backstory introducing,
yeah.
let me tell you something. There's not many authors that do that. You get what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, when Marvel started doing that, because they started doing that with their stories
Yeah.
in their comic books. You feel what I'm saying? You didn't see a lot of books in print that was telling stories that were dropping uh, the books in between it. That's giving the reasons why we got this big book today. You know what I'm saying?
I
But I
mean,
can definitely tell you that with Amazon again, like you said, shout out. Even though sometimes I don't really rock with Jeff Bezos, you know what I'm saying. I gotta say, thank you because really, him and his teams, they leave the door wide open, man. You dig what I'm saying for
I mean,
content to be however you want it to be and how much you want to drop, how much you want to put out there. You know
facts.
what I mean? And they damn near get really off that side close to nothing in return. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, it's one of the biggest platforms, to be honest.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out to Amazon. You know what I'm saying? But you love and you learn, man. I just gotta say, like, I'm intrigued to get these books. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely about to cop them this week, and I'll definitely will put it out there
I
that
mean,
about these books. My yellow marker is gonna be on fleek for the next time we come back.
I know
So
definitely. I was like, you know what I'm saying. I was gonna say, like, bro, if y'all go to, you know what I'm saying, ChancellorKJackson.com right now. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a very first day of Sag, November. You know what I'm saying, November 22nd. So I'm doing a sale all Sagittarius season. Sagittarius season ends the 21st.
right.
I have my own copies of 14 Days. I got paperbacks and hardcovers, and paperbacks of the romance novel You Love and You Learn. The paperbacks $9, the hardcovers 18.
Oh, I
And I
actually gotta get a
sign them.
hardcover. My
I can
singles
sign,
still
and I can sign up for you. And versus Amazon, they taxing for the hardcover. You feel me? So
right.
it's, I can sign up for you and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like anybody you know want their personal copies, just go to ChancellorKJackson.com. Definitely get that to you immediately.
Okay, for sure, for sure. So, yo, listen, man, as usual, what I always do about this time, you know what I'm saying? I always leave the last word for my guests. What
Mm.
you want to leave with the people? Um, I do want to say this, man, that, I know you back teaching, you
Yeah.
back with your love, shout out to all the kids, man, who have the opportunity and pleasure to sit in front of a young educator like yourself. I want to tell you that I honor you.
I appreciate you, King.
I honor you because you know you're very much in tune with who you are. You are very vulnerable, very transparent,
Sure.
and it's always an honor and a pleasure to be around brothers that are like you.
Appreciate it.
And at 50, and I see you, man. I see you. I really do see you. And if everyone else don't know what I mean by that, they won't know.
On me.
You know, they won't know. But I
World.
see you, kid. And
World.
yo, shout out to your moms and pops, man. Shout out to the universe for creating you, man.
Appreciate you.
I'm glad I had the opportunity to meet a brother like yourself, man.
Likewise, for sure, man. Your energy is amazing. For we was on the phone, for sure. You definitely, man. 50, man, shit, I wouldn't even guess that. I wouldn't even guess that, fool. On me, I wouldn't have guessed that, man. What? Oh, me. But yeah, just, as far as his last words, just like, just in quote to the honorable Nipsey Hussle, the great, just long winded, running through this life like it was mine.
Mm.
Never settling, but said never go high. 1,000 burpees on the path to my own success or destruction. But what's a mistake without the lesson?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You see, the best teacher in life is your own experience. None of us know who we are until we fail. Adversity introduces a man to himself or a woman to himself or herself. They say every person is defined by their reaction to any given situation. So with that being said, who would you want to define you? Someone else or yourself? Whatever you do, give your all to it. It's gonna be a marathon. You know what I'm saying? That's why he called it a marathon. He didn't never portray his ultimate course like he always had to figure out. Hell no, he said ain't no thinking, ain't no planning. We just put work in.
Mm.
Now, don't take that literally. Of course, you just can't freestyle through this thing. You definitely have to plan and, you know what I'm saying, strategize. You know what I'm saying, write out goals for sure. But, you know what I'm saying, put in work ultimately. You know what I'm saying, for sure. And the most genuine quality between whoever else is going to go through it, already went through it, or is going through it, is that you're not going to quit.
Right.
That's the only distinguishing quality. Is you're not gonna quit. You're willing to take a stand behind. I'm willing to die behind what I'm getting after right now. I know who I am. I know what I believe, and that's all I need to know. And from that point on, the universe will move out of your way.
Facts.
And that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Yo, it's your man Vince Pass in the building with the one and only Chancellor Jackson. Cop the book off Amazon,
Hey,
14 Days in Beijing. The follow up, you feel what I'm saying? You love and you learn. Get him on Amazon, you know what I'm saying? Support the brother. Man,
I
that's a dope interview, man. But I'm gonna
appreciate
leave you
it.
with my man Casper Holstein. You feel me? Picasso Panoy Unionati. You feel me? Let's go! Woo! We gonna catch y'all next time. You know what I'm saying? Gotta act like we at the party, you feel me? Everybody's following us. You feel me? Catch me on IG, Vince Pass One. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do it like this. Let's do it. Get it when you get it. Woo! Shout out to everyone out there doing their thing on the late night shift, third shift. You feel me?
Hey,
Got that feel good music.
he lit.
Body down to the music. Got love for you, man.
Oh
Yo, this
man.
shit man. Gonna holler at y'all later, man. Get at you. Shout out to Atlanta. Yeah. Hey, man. Yo, great for having you on, man.
I
Yo, stick
appreciate you,
around for a
King.
second, man. Don't go
For
nowhere,
sure.
right?
For sure.
I'll holler at y'all later, man. It's your man, Bitch Bad Son. Holla at you.